This is a 160 Q&A practice test. Plaintiff attorney Mr. Kratz, capital K-R-A-T-Z. Defense attorney Ms. MS period Blake, capital B-L-A-K-E. And we'll start with defense attorney. Ready? Here we go. I mean, you know what a floppy disk is, the old floppy disk that used to go in computers. Yes, I do. It was smaller than that, right? I believe so. So it was one of the real small scan disks or whatever they are that you use in cameras, right? In my report, I indicated that I observed a smaller piece of paper with Teresa's name on it. After reviewing Detective Remaker's report, that is what I learned. It was some type of digital camera card. Okay, and on that little card, you were able to see her name, right? I saw the name Teresa. Okay, did you look in any other windows? No. The entire time that you were there guarding or standing over the vehicle or looking into it, you never saw any blood inside the vehicle, did you? I was approximately 30 feet behind the vehicle. I could not see inside. Sir, we have established that you looked in the passenger side window, first the front passenger side window, when you first arrived, right? Correct. You didn't see any blood, right? I glanced in for a body. Did you see any blood, sir? No, I did not. Thank you. Then we know at least one other time you looked in the rear tailgate window, right? Correct. Are those the only two times you have ever looked inside the vehicle? Correct. Okay. And you didn't see blood on that occasion either, did you? No, I did not. But you were able to see something as small as a handwritten Teresa on a little computer disk, right? Correct. And if you had seen blood, of course, that would have been something you would have made a note of, wouldn't it? I would imagine if I saw blood, yes. Okay, did you ever see Lieutenant Link that day? No, I did not. And you left at 2. Excuse me? You said you left at 2. I would have to read from my report. Okay, you didn't actually keep a log of, or you didn't actually start preparing a log of anybody coming to and from that scene of the Ford until 2:45. Isn't that right? No. You did prepare a report, right? Yes. And you try and be truthful and complete and accurate when you make those reports, correct? As soon as I stood behind the vehicle, approximately 30 feet, I used the small notepad out of my shirt pocket. That was a rough log that I started. When I proceeded back to the staging area is where I prepared a final log, which is probably what you are referring to. All right, if you would, just read what you say for the entry that says 14:45 hours, that is 2:45, is it not? Correct. You want me to read this? Sure, read the last sentence. I started a log to document the names of individuals approaching the immediate area around the vehicle. Okay, I started a log, right? Correct. Is there any place earlier in your report where you mentioned that you ever took any notes anywhere else about who was coming and going other than this entry right here that says it's 2:45 p.m.? No, my rough field notes is when I started previously. Do you still have those? No, I do not. So we just have to rely on your memory, is that right? As far as the time of breaks and the time I approached and who came and went, right? Correct. You are a sergeant? Yes, and you were a sergeant then, yes. May 31st, Lieutenant Link is above you in rank, correct? And was on that day, correct? Lieutenant Link was in the hierarchy, what, 4th highest ranking officer at the department? Yeah, I'm not sure. Did it ever enter your mind that one of your superior officers might want to plant evidence inside that Ford? Absolutely not. Nothing you would have been in your wildest imagination thinking of? Absolutely not. So when you were watching that Ford, if it was not with the thought in mind that I better make sure none of my superiors are coming in here and touching watching this vehicle, planting evidence, right? I'm not sure what you mean. That wasn't a purpose of you watching the vehicle to make sure that one of your supervisors couldn't gain access to it and do something with it, was it? I was securing the vehicle for any persons. Okay, by the way, would you put that back up there for a moment, please? I'm sorry, it keeps cutting out. Can you zoom out? Not quite that far. One more in, please. That's good. That's good. The direction that you approached, which is now the upper left-hand corner, was to the southeast of the pond, right? You're asking where I approached. Yeah, I think you showed us that you approached from the southeast corner, proceeded from the north, traveling southeast. There's actually other ways to get to that Ford vehicle, aren't there? From the west, correct. From the south, correct. Or any one of these rows on the right-hand side of the photo leading, again, approaching from the west, correct. And just, that's all. Thank you. Any redirect? If I could have just a moment, Judge. Sure. Sergeant Orth, do you recall the color of the memory card or the paper that had the writing on it? I'm not certain. I believe it was white because the name seemed to jump out at me. My point is, what was the other general color in the back of the vehicle? Was it light or dark? Darker colored background. Was there something about the memory card or the writing that stood out, or was a contrast in color to the surrounding location? If I remember correctly, it was like a white background with blue or black ink. I think blue. I just glanced in real, like when I looked in the front window, it was just glancing in to look for a person. And when I looked in the back, it was just a glance for the most part, but it did jump out. So you didn't see dark blood on the dark interior? No, I did not. That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you. Nothing further. All right, you are excused, Mr. Kratz. I think we'll have to get started on your next witness. State would call Lieutenant Herman to the stand. If the jury wishes to stand, I will give you that privilege. Please raise your right hand. Please be seated. Please state your name and spell your last name for the record. My name is Todd Herman. Right, the word list. We have Teresa, capital T-E-R-E-S-A. Remiker, capital R-E-M-I-K-E-R. Link, capital L-E-N-K. Ford, capital F-O-R-D. Orth, capital O-R-T-H. Herman, capital H-E-R-M-A-N-N. Todd, capital T-O-D-D. And that's it for the word list, and that will conclude our 160 Q&A practice test.